podcast is about to begin. Welcome to Creative Contraband.
Welcome to How to Be a Better DM, the show that helps dungeon masters tell better stories and run more engaging games. This is Creative Contraband, where we take ideas from elsewhere and smuggle them into our craft to take it one step further. And remember, all of this is brought to you by Session Zero Studios.
Be welcome, fellow GMs and DMs. My name is Daniel, you can call me Danny, and I have been a semi-professional artist for about a decade now. I have worked in magic, theater, and music, so hopefully you can find something of value in my words. I am, as always, your guide for today's journey in this experiment by the How to Be a Better DM team, where for 12 weeks I will be smuggling knowledge from other arts into our craft to make us all better players and artists. If you like this content, make sure to join the Discord and follow us on Instagram. And maybe we will have some more Creative Contraband episodes for you. At How to Be a Better DM podcast and at gamemaster.hof, H-O-F as in Hall of Fame. But before that, I have a confession to make. I edit these episodes quite a lot. As you can absolutely notice, English is not my native tongue. So when pronunciation is too weird or I took too long to think what I will say next, I either record again or cut silences in the middle of phrases. But the thing is, silences are great. They are freaking great. So, in this episode, I am going to make an experiment. Although, if this is the first Creative Contraband episode you have listened to, I would suggest you listen to one of the previous episodes of the segment, particularly the first one. It will give you some context about my thoughts on art, GMing, and how those two relate. Okay, back to it. What is this experiment I am talking about? To let you feel the power of silences and pauses, I will not edit anything in this episode. So you will feel the discomfort that silence brings when it should not be there, and it is just a fault of narration. And you will also feel the weight that a well-used pause can have. I mean, it would be really weird if I stopped talking in the middle of a sentence, right? But if I pause right before something relevant, then I can fully emphasize what I want to say. Speech is a very musical thing. When you hear someone talking very fast or way too slow, it is very easy to notice and it can be uncomfortable too. Speech has rhythm, it has duration, speed, cadence, changes, and it has pauses. The first thing we need to understand is silences between sentences or words are a need, because we need to breathe in the middle. So the question is not about if to pause, but when, why, and how. The second thing we need to understand is the intent behind the pause. It is the why that I just talked about. Why are we pausing? Are we trying to emphasize something? Or did we just need to desperately take some air in the middle of the sentence? This is important because I've heard some people talk a lot about the how, especially in moodier systems like Call of Cthulhu or Shadow of the Demon Lord. But you can't quite build the atmosphere only by introducing silences, or cadences and changes, and emphasis and emotion to the words. You have to introduce the right emotion through the right tool in the right moment. And that is hard. Very hard. Silence in particular is heavy. A long silence can be very uncomfortable or very deep and meaningful or scary or just boring. So silences are unavoidable because of the breathing thing. They are powerful, but also dangerous, like a cursed item eternally bound to you. You are doomed to deal with it your whole life. Not only with your own silences and pauses, but with other people's too. That right there is a huge thing. It's a huge responsibility. It is so much so that there are studies that show that different languages are usually spoken at different speeds, depending on the density of information they carry. In other words, the languages with shorter words that carry more meaning tend to be spoken slowly, because the brain might have a cognitive processing limit and it needs time to process. So pausing gives us the ability to let people process what just happened or what was said. We've established already, I think, that silence can make or break a narration and that there is no escape. But what do we do about it? Danny, you've given me nothing yet. And I won't. Just yet. I want to take a quick detour through a fun fact. There is a modernist composition in music. Well, for those that are not musicians, a modernist here means 1950s. So still way before most of us here existed. There is a modernist composition by John Cage, an experimental composer, and it is divided in 3 movements with clear durations. I highly recommend you pause this and go listen to it right now. I will give you a couple seconds so you can pause the podcast and go listen to it. Okay, you're back. Welcome. Yeah, I know most of you probably didn't leave, but I mean, still, that's a real recommendation. But okay. So, as you might have seen, it is just silence and ambient sound. For those of you who are not too well versed in art theory yet, in the beginning of the 20th century there were some big international art movements who started exploring and questioning some of the established rules in art. And this piece, among other things, explores the power of silence and posits that the artistic qualities of something depend on its context too. So silence is not art per se, but it can be art in the right context. Just like Marcel Duchamp's Fountain, which you can Google now if you don't know it. It can also be art and mean something, but only in the right context. Art has evolved through the centuries, becoming less contemplative and more reflexive. But enough theory for today. Let's go with some tips. Number 1, don't fear silence. There is no rush, so take your time. Breathe and let there be empty space in your narration. I promise it will not hurt if done with intent. Number 2, experiment with silences. Stretch them, watch the reaction of your players. They might even get more involved if you give them the space. Pause in weird places when they are engaged enough and you might get some cool reactions. Number 3, let actions speak instead of words. At some point you will be doing stuff like, I don't know, taking the BBEG's mini out of the board, for example, when your players defeat them. What about doing it without saying anything, instead of saying something? Everyone will probably still understand that they just won the battle, and it might be way more dramatic. I suggest studying the Magic Duo Penn and Teller to see some examples. And number 4, build suspense with it. This is probably its most powerful use. So use a dramatic pause right before the kicker and hit your players with a huge reveal or plot twist or whatever you want. This topic is endless, so I will leave the door open in case you guys are interested and I end up recording a second part in the future. As many of you know, at the end of each episode I take one of your questions and answer it here. So today is the turn of Daniel Rodriguez, my namesake. He asks, do you think it is possible to use these rituals, yes, this is about the ritual episode, to make new role players feel comfortable in a table with more experienced players? Thank you for your question, Daniel. I hope you're having the greatest of days. My colleagues already answered the question partially by saying, for sure, on one hand, the ritual puts everyone on the same ground. But on the other hand, it is a strong way of building routines that facilitate comfort. If the ritual signals to the table that now is the time that everyone can let loose and roleplay, the newbies will get the hint and join the fun. And that is indeed all true. I would only add that the existence of the ritual itself, regardless of what it is about, helps to create identity. It is what English-speaking people sometimes call becoming a thing. So, taking turns bringing the snacks is now a thing. Drinking lemonade before the session can be a thing. So it creates cohesion between the members of the group. But the ritual's content can be designed to help newer players too. For example, doing a round of quick roleplay or clapping together so everyone feels better or something. Just remember to always think about who the people at your table are, embrace communication, and let them make decisions too. GMs should be taking stuff their players do and turning them into things, or rituals, as we say. At the end of each episode, I will leave you with a word or quote that you might know or not, but that I think can help you level up your descriptions and inner world as game master. Today's quote is by Richard Yates from the novel A Good School. As I have said previously, I think good quotes have more than one truth to them, so I will leave the reflection to you. The quote reads, "Never say anything that doesn't improve on silence." If you want to share your thoughts, feel free to leave a comment. I would really love that. That's it for today. Thanks for joining us once again in the beginning of this second month of Creative Contraband. And remember to leave a comment or join the Discord if you like the episode. The feedback really warms my heart, and I want to talk more about the things that you are interested in, so your opinion is essential. And remember, there are lessons in every craft. And guess what? I want to bring them all to your table. So thanks again, and we'll be back next time with another handcrafted episode. But until then, let's roll initiative.
This is Creative Contraband, brought to you by Session Zero Studios.